Team tea or team coffee? Let me know in the comments. So you think you know everything about tennis analysis? Wait until you see my techniques that will completely revolutionize your way of analyzing tennis matches. I'm going to reveal some analysis strategies to you. Sharp tips and tennis-specific tricks that I've never talked about in my 600 videos. YouTube, and this will give you a leg up on the others. So if you're ready to be several steps ahead of to all your friends and all the people who love tennis predictions, get ready to enter the winners arena. Daily, we are still in the black this month. Thank you also for all your feedback on email. There's pronostic. I'm making more and more videos to show you how it works. There's pronostic. It serves as a tutorial for others, since these are videos that are embedded in the tool. You stumble upon iPrediction, and here in the new features tab, you have everything that has been added to iPredictions. Today, we are at more than 34 intelligences dedicated to sport. So firstly, I hope you're doing well. I wish you an excellent year of 24, full of good things. I hope Christmas went well with your celebration too. But in any case, stay until the end of the video, because if you miss a single one of my tips, they might kill me. That your prediction does not pass. So already, small question. When you analyze tennis, you analyze the number of points, the number of winning sets, which player will win, or are you making correct scores? Tell me in the comments. And don't forget to like this video. It takes a microsecond. But for me, a video like this takes more than 10 hours of editing, because I do everything myself. I don't have an editor. So it doesn't seem like it. But between synthesizing the information, shooting the video, editing it, putting it online, making the music, it requires a lot of work, even if I am extremely well organized. Don't worry, if you're a beginner, I'll use jargon understandable to the public. Many. And don't forget that Rome wasn't built in a day. Just because you can't do it today, you won't make it tomorrow. Only 3% of people who analyze matches manage to be profitable in the long run. Don't give up. And remember, if you decide to invest in gambling, especially invest money you can afford to lose, because the element of chance is very important. So let's get to the heart of the matter. The first tip is to dance in it. All the star tournaments which are reliable and of hydrogen. Also those on which you are most performing, because from my experience with coaching, 90% of them are teachers. You do not have a reliable and accurate history of what they are doing. You're not unaware that some tournaments can be less predictable or reliable, often for various reasons, such as the level of competition or even the local conditions. So it's crucial to know these parameters of the tournaments and adjust your strategies on the go. So I take the example of cash tennis, which has a completely tamper-proof hot portal profile, meaning you can enter your matches before they're played, but once they're played, you can't change anything. So it's a balance sheet that is totally unforgeable and verifiable. And here you see that in the month of December, there are very, very few tennis matches. So indeed, there were only 8 predictions, but there was 0 missed. So he made more than 3 betting units and over 35% ROA. What you need to know is that this is a really huge result for the month of December, but there are very, very few matches. So very, very few. Let me give you an example. The cash tennis is doing very well on the ATP Munich. On the ATP finals in Turin, Andorra Challenger woman, he had given 5 predictions and they all passed. So heroic plus 64 on this tournament. So for him, it's a tournament that is very reliable. He gave 5 predictions. He only got 1 right. So indeed, he needs to revise his strategy on this championship, on this tournament. So that's why once you have a reliable history in relation to what you've done, what you do, you can easily eliminate some. Tournaments are precisely to go deeper into the tournaments where you do well, and why not play more predictions. Major second tip is that tennis is the sport, the only sport where you can go on this player wins at least 1-7. And it's true that it's a very safe prediction, and it's often an underestimated strategy because it offers a great chance to win, because the player doesn't need to win the entire match. It's enough if he only wins a 7 for you to win. And it's true, there's not really any comparison with other sports, because here we take football, we could say, well, wins the first half, but at the same time, a draw is possible. Then in tennis, we agree that there is no draw possible. Same thing if we take basketball. We might say, team wins the first half, you have to choose between the first and second half, like football. And besides, a draw is not uncommon in basketball at the end of the afternoon time. So you can't take most sports, there's really no equivalent. And it's true that this type of choice gives you a great chance of winning. And then you have to choose the player who are really the most combative. So even if they are generally not the favorites, he still scores a safe favor. You go on Cotton Best, which is here. You obviously choose tennis. Of course, there are not many matches at the moment. It's still late December when I shoot video. But if you go down, you see that you have players who have a great chance of winning and even greater chances compared to the code chosen by the bookmaker. So now you see that number 2 has a rate at 2.38. So it clearly shows that it is It's number 2. According to the odds, this player has a 40% chance of winning with a rate at 238. And him, according to the history, that player wins 80% of her matches. So if you do not want to lose 2, risk, you can't say it's hers, wins by a row. Of course, you need to study the match a little more. Here, I'm giving you a quick example. But you see that it gives you an idea of what you can do without really taking too much risk. It's tight because here you see that the odds are quite tight on the second match. We have one at an odds of 2 and 2 at an odds of 1.73. Here they tell you that one, logically so. Looking at the odds, 50% of singers. But that this player wins 79% of her matches. So wouldn't he be there? Shouldn't we push our analysis a bit further on this player to know if indeed she has a chance to win at least a 7 and win at least a 7 on this type of code? We are around 140 or even 150, 160 if you choose the odds at 238, which is still quite a reasonable odds. So we start with tip number 3, not to neglect, is the psychological impact of each match. And I'm talking about the previous matches, so the matches before the one you have. Analyze. Therefore, it is important to know it's a crucial factor in tennis. Have you ever checked if just before the player had undergone a crushing defeat had made a triumphant victory that was miraculous? So it's certain. Each player approaches the match with a different mentality, but this mentality is affected by previous matches and especially the most recent match because it's the freshest in his memory. Plus, I've already talked about it in another video. But if there have been tie breaks, if there have been 3 sets, etc., physically and especially among women, it seriously impacts their physique. And so they could find themselves more easily in the next match than her opponent. Same, you're going to tell me, that's all well and good, Matteo, but how do I watch this? You go on Tennis Explorer, you can do 2 things. Either you watch all the matches here, where you have all the matches of the day, where you type the player's name, with player it's here, you type the name of the player you're interested in, and you can play. Pretext all its history. Here, I'm giving you an example on this match. Well, the odds aren't really interesting since we're at 1/5 dog. So this is the match that took place here. If we look at the match just before, so Galan confronted Comezana. So excuse me if I butcher the names of the players because they are not very well known. Galan is on a single ranking, meaning he's ATP 80 ranker. And about the previous match, he was defeated by a player who is ranked without a sleeve, 24. I'm still going to win 2-0. So psychological impact, often when players underperform, they manage to win the next match. Beware, it's not always true. Here, you see we're dealing with a player who wins very, very few matches on the right. But usually when they perform excellently, that is, when he wins a match, he loses the next one. So you need to understand the player's dynamic. A lot of winning streaks. So after a defeat in general, if it's not against a huge one, he tends to win afterwards. And the same for someone who has a lot of defeats. As soon as he starts to have a bit of a miracle victory, naturally the motivation falls, and the more he accumulates defeat series, the more it will affect him to want to win and transcend oneself. And if he's facing a player who is not tomorrow, he will manage to win because you see he is ranked QZ9 1370 and he won this match against Chappelle, and Chappelle is ranked 388, so Chappelle should have won. So it's a bit miracle victory. Another thing, more and more of you are asking me for coaching, so I can't take. Hello everyone, I really limit the coaching spots, so go to my website coaching.fr. It's only 2 per month just to be able to really keep up with you. You continue, you have a video of over an hour, even 2 videos where I analyze the matches in front of you. How do I do exactly? I show you the unique sites I use and my method. We will have sessions. It's a bit like Zoom with a much more accessible tool. I just send you a link. You just have to connect, and it's 3 hours of live e-coaching with me. These are the interviews I did with Dorado, etc. It's exactly the same. Same principle where I watch with you all the crucial points to help you and make you pass the stage as quickly as possible. And what I wanted to show you is that I've included a chatbot with all my knowledge. I've included in it my systems on a YouTube video because I imagine that you don't want to hit 600 YouTube videos. And it's perfectly normal. I'm the only one who watched them. But in any case, I put all my knowledge in it. So how does it work in practice? Can help you with your match analysis. There you don't say no. Yes, I want to analyze tennis, but I don't know what's the best first thing to look at. I'd still show concretely that you need to take into account the ATP ranking. Why? Because today the ATP ranking is a secure value like the, for example, the WTA ranking, but this allows us to concretely assess the player's level in a way that's very precise. I know a person in coaching who has very, very good results just by comparing the ranking of the players and declaring that a quota is value. He succeeds. That players are outsiders when they have character, ranking better than their opponent. And often if you assure a little with a win, or at least a 7 passes quite easily, on what site I can watch that you see, and you clearly say that you can watch on Flashcore. Tennis Explorer on ATP. The second thing to look at, it tells you if it's ATP 250, ATP 500, Master 1000, Grand Slam. Because indeed the motivation won't be the same. And in fact, Analyze AI will actually help you. All the steps of your analysis so that you don't forget anything, that you watch the right sites. As you continue to train him, he will become even more efficient. a few days. Anyway, it's a major help even for me because it allows me to not forget anything, no detail about the matches I analyze. It gives you the right links. Nagimi, you see, even by misspelling how to view confrontations between two tennis players, you clearly say the best site is Tennis Explorer. I was almost talking about Tennis Explorer in all the videos I made. So don't hesitate to mention on my site, pronomateo.net. You can talk to me directly here via online chat. Click on it. That's it. All you need to do is enter your name and start chatting now. And you're chatting with me. So I'm very available in the morning. In the afternoon, I'm more on my match analysis. So you'll excuse me if I take a little longer to respond. Go ahead. I'll see you on the other side. This was Prometheus. Bye.